Hello, everybody. Jason of New Year's Revolution Cave. Happy Monday. Monday to you. A happy one, indeed. Lots of fun stuff happening. Lots of fun stuff. The room, a lot of the figures, a lot of the fun side collection has moved itself up to the garage and put in the beautiful glass display case that I absolutely love. And we are prepping the room for new births. That's right, new births. That's the grossest way I can describe toy collecting. New births. New interests in toys, new interests in toy lines, new interest in collecting has come upon us. And we moved the Sony upstairs. We moved the Trinitron upstairs, which means we can take down the bookshelf that the Sony was sitting on. And I got some ideas. And don't worry, it's not a full room remodel. We're not doing that. We're just making a little bit of space for for one new toy line and one rebirth. I'm not buying anything. I'm just going to display it the way it should have been displayed. So we're going to have a He-Man section, and then we're going to have a real Ghostbusters section where the toys are fully showcased, meaning the firehouse is set up and figures are interacting and vehicles and ghosts are a part of it. And I will unveil that probably, honestly, after Christmas, I suppose, because the majority of my He-Man stuff is going to come from one Colin from Canada. And we won't get together until Christmas. Maybe I can do not maybe, definitely, I can set up the Ghostbusters area. All right, so this might be one of one video tonight. This might be one of two. I'm not sure. It just depends on how I feel, my mood. You can hear some activity here. We have a package. And it is not an XOX. Lately, anytime there's been a package, it has been from Net, but not this time. No, indeed. We have the first edition. The first edition to the He-Man Masters of the Universe recollection. I, at one point, had many, many figures, many, many vehicles, and then I didn't. Then I didn't care, and I got rid of them. But the collection has been reborn in my mind, and we're going to have some fun. So I bought, because, again, I expected to buy all of Series 1, Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, and 2 vehicles. There were only 2 vehicles released in Series 1. And I have one of them. That's right. So the very first Masters of the Universe, and I refuse to say MOTU. I'm sorry. There are collectors on the YouTube who say things like SNES for Super Nintendo. They say SNES because they're cool and they're hip, and they say SNES. And for He-Man, they say MOTU. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get to, I went on eBay and got a MOTU figure, and I really like, I'm not going to say MOTU, and I'm not going to say SNES. Thank you. I'm going to say He-Man. The first edition to the newfound He-Man love is Wind Raider. That is right. Wind Raider complete. Decals, to my knowledge, are complete. Nice. We have the little tail. We have the wingies. We have the hitch Thing. We have the Thing. I assume with original string. How does this wind itself up? Let's wind. Is it winding? It's not winding. Is it supposed to wind? Oh, there it goes. It's winding. Don't worry. It's winding. So there we go. There are only 2 vehicles in Series 1, and I have one of them. Wind Raider is here. Now, I did notice after I had done the buy it now, I noticed a couple of things in the picture, and you can see right here. You can see this. Well, and I thought that was normal because there's one on the other side too. Apparently it's not normal, and these are indeed cracked. Now, does that ruin it for me? No, not at all. Not at all. They cannot be, they really can't be fixed. I mean, you can kind of squeeze them together. You can kind of squeeze it together and like glue it and clamp it and all that, but I'm not going to do that, folks. I'm not going to do that. And condition is important. Condition is very important as I embark on this collecting journey. But it's okay. This isn't gonna, I looked at other vehicles and I made sure that the decals were nice. I was going to buy a cheaper one that had the decals all but tore off, and then I was going to get a repro decal set, but I found this one, and it's nice all the way around. So there it is, folks. The first addition to the Masters of the Universe He-Man recollection. Oh, I wonder if I'm missing a decal up top there. Is there supposed to be a decal here? I'll have to check. But there it is. Wind Raider is mine. Good guy vehicle. Now, I'm not going to do anything with it yet. I'm going to put it right there on the shelf, but I'm not going to do anything with it yet because we're going to do a whole He-Man display in the room here. We're going to do almost like a He-Man. We're going to do a He-Man tabletop display, and we're going to do a real Ghostbusters tabletop display. Now, what do you mean tabletop? Well, I have enough room here. I have enough room from that pole, because nothing can go behind that pole. I have enough room from that pole to the closet, some pump room, to put in a couple of tables, a couple of those white plastic garage tables that you see. In fact, I have a couple. And then I'm going to buy, respectively, a He-Man and a real Ghostbusters tablecloth from the eBay. I have them both in a watch list. They're cheap, $11. And I'm going to put the tablecloth down on the table, and I'm going to set up a He-Man world and set up a real Ghostbusters world. And then above that, because the tables are about the size of the bookshelf, above that, there's still going to be room for bookshelves and new additional items. So I think it's great. I'm looking forward to this little slight change in the room. Just a slight change. No big deal. Slight change. Nothing else is going to get touched. Wrestling section stays the same. Everything stays the same. Now, I did take down the Karate Kid figures, the Dukes of Hazzard, and the Knight Rider, and put those in the garage. And so I got a lot of space over there to mess around. And I'm glad, because I kind of want that to be my almost my mini figs, my PVCs. The McDonald's stuff is way too compacted. It's not getting love. So I'll do a little work over there and organize and have things a little bit more on display. You know, the McDonald's stuff is really not being done proper justice. It's being hidden. So no big deal. Not going to put a ton of effort into it. As far as, a complete tear down and remodel, I'm not. I'm just adding a couple of tables and setting up a couple of worlds. And that's the way I think action figures should be displayed. I think there should be worlds. And I got that idea off of watching some recent collection videos on YouTube. And I usually don't watch other people's collections. I don't. It bugs me. And not in a bad way. It just makes me want more. It makes me want more. But I got the idea of setting up little worlds because of one of the collectors that I watched. He had so much space. I mean, he had the whole house. And so he had a G.I. Joe room, and he had a Turtles section, and he had a He-Man section, and he just set everything up and made it look like it was being played. And I think that's awesome. So I'm going to do that with the limited space that I have with He-Man and with Ghostbusters. I'll bring you along. Don't worry. I was going to hold off on the announcement, but because there is space in the cabinet, there's a whole second layer of shelving. And one half of the cabinet is already being planned for, and I wasn't going to tell anybody, but I made a buy it now purchase for an extremely low amount, and it was a very clean figure. So for, I think, including shipping, $9.50 or so, I got Series 1 WWF Hasbro Akeem. So you know what that means. Series 1 Hasbro's plus ring coming here. It's true. Why am I not going further? Because I didn't go further when I was a kid. I didn't have any more Hasbros other than Series 1. I had them as an adult collector, and I just didn't care. So I'm not going to buy any more than just Series 1 in the ring. And I will be completely wonderfully satisfied with that. It will bring me back to childhood when I had all of Series 1 Hasbro and played with them and didn't need any more, didn't want any more. So we're going to stop there. Yes, it has happened. I'm now doing 2 collections. I'm doing He-Man and Hasbro Series 1. Now, we have the wrestling section down here, but I'm going to put the Hasbros in the garage. I'm going to put them in the glass case. I think they're going to look great down there. Or out there, and then I can look at them when I'm in the garage. There's really no room on the wrestling side of the room for the Hasbros, so I'm gonna put them in the garage. After that, it hasn't happened yet, but my brain has slowly started thinking about, do I want a few series of the Jakks Bone Crunchers? Possibly. I really like Series 1, 2, and the tag teams. I really like the Mankind. I really like the Goldust. I really like the Undertaker, the Shawn Michaels, the Bret Hart, the Diesel, the Sid, and I like the tag teams. So we'll see. But we're going to focus on MOTU. We're going to focus on MOTU and WWF Hasbros. We'll see y'all next time. Good night now.